So guys, this will be a very short tutorial, step-by-step instruction how to use the EURAIL pass. Let's start with the pass itself. So you can buy it on this website and you can see there are a bunch of options. There is a global pass and one country pass. So as the name suggests, global pass is valid for 33 countries and then one country pass is only valid for one country. And then you have certain types of passes. Usually it's certain number of days within a specific period, such as 15 days within 2 months or 4 days within 1 month. And then there are full months, full 2 months, full 3 months, which honestly, I don't think it's realistic for anybody to travel every day for 1 month, 2 months, or 3 months. So just think about, how many days while you're traveling, let's say within a month, how many days would you need to travel, how many countries you're staying in, and choose the corresponding type. Then when you click add to cart, what happens is that you will see this page, and then you can change from second class to first class, which will be better, better seats, and it's going to be, of course, a little bit more expensive. And then you can also choose the type of passenger. So youth is up to 26 years old, and then if you are older, then you will have to switch to adult, and that's going to be a little bit more expensive. And then you click on proceed to checkout. I think by default they will add this free cancellation, which is $23, and then you can get a full refund if you change your mind and then you want to refund the whole pass. If you don't use the free cancellation and you decide to get a refund, I think it's going to be just like 90% of what you paid they will refund. And then you can see you have a mobile pass and you have a paper pass. So the difference between them is that paper pass is like physical paper which will be delivered to your home. If you're not living in Europe, let's say you're traveling from elsewhere, this may be a problem. I personally think like mobile pass is much more convenient. You just need to download the app and that's it. And you can immediately, start booking the trains. So I would highly recommend to use the mobile pass. So you indicate, your billing address and your contact details. Then you indicate the traveler's details. Make sure that your name and the number of your document you're traveling with is exactly as in the document, so like that there are no mistakes. And then you pay with your card, and once it's done, you will receive this email, which has your order number, it has the traveler's name and the pass number. What you do now, if you got the mobile pass, then you have to go and download the app. The link to the app will be in this mail as well. It's called Rail Planner, and it's kind of blue and yellow kind of colors. Then what you'll need to do when you open the app, you'll have to add your pass to the app. What you need to do is take traveler's name from here and put it over here, and then the pass number you take from here and add it into the pass number field, and then you press OK. The pass will be added. You only need to activate it. Then I want to mention one thing. So you think that, oh, like you got this pass for 189 US dollars and that's it. You're not gonna need to, pay for something else. That's not exactly true. You need to do seat reservations for some of the trains. For me personally, it was probably for 70% of the trains I was traveling with, I had to do a seat reservation. This may be because I was taking a lot of, speed trains. This may not be the case for you. We'll come back to seat reservations a little bit later. Let's stop on the app itself first, and let me explain how it works. So the app has got several tabs here: Planner, Stations, My Trip, My Pass. I don't think you will use anything else here. It will mostly be Planner, My Trip, and My Pass. So Planner is pretty much where you book the train. So you go, you indicate from where you want to go, to which city, what date, and then when you click over here, you can change the time where you want to depart, or when you want to arrive. And also over here, if you click on the date, it will show the whole calendar. Otherwise, you can just use these arrows to change the date. And then you have a bunch of filters here. So if you click no seat reservation, then obviously it will show you all the trains for which you don't need to pay anything additional. So seat reservation is kind of extra fee for traveling with the train. So you need to have seat reservation to board the train. If there is no seat reservation, it means like you can just come in and add the journey to your pass, and that's it. You don't need to do anything additionally. You can also choose like night trains, speed trains, direct trains, etc. in the filters. But like have a look, for example, here from Barcelona to Madrid, no seat reservation train is 9 hours, but for example, a direct train, which is a speed train, is 2.5 hours. So you always have to understand that no seat reservation means longer time or more changes, or it's just like less convenient for you. So that's how the planner works. So once you have, certain train that you are happy with and you want to book it, what you're going to do, you're going to see this. So it's not very clear, for me at least it wasn't, that when you click, let's say over here, you click on this train, you will see this. And then you can swipe and you can see all the possible options. So here is just like one option, but you could have several types of, travel suggested to you, let's say from A to B. It can be a direct train, it can be a train with a stop in C, etc., etc. So once you are happy with, let's say I'm happy with this train, I'm going to take it. So I click on Save Journey. And then once it's saved to your journey, you can see this kind of tab here, which says View. So pretty much what it does when you click on View, it moves you to this tab, which is My Trip. And then what you will see there is pretty much this tab is the how is it called, My Trip. Yeah, so if you click on My Trip, or if you click on View from Planner, you'll see the same thing. You'll see this, where you'll see how many days you have left, and what kind of journeys you saved. So because you saved them, it doesn't mean they are already active. To activate them, you need to use this toggle, and then it will turn yellow, and it means like your journey is active. So one more thing. So when you go on My Pass, that's very important. So My Trip, it's more about your journey. My Pass is more about your tickets. So when you go to My Pass, you will have your global pass or any other pass you've bought. It will show you what's the validity date. For example, mine was active from 11th of September to 10th of November. And then it will have all the information, such as, like pass type, validity period, travel dates, inbound, outbound. And over here, if you click on those, boxes, you will see each individual trip. So you can see that these trips already happened, so they are kind of grayed out, and then these trips are going to happen. So let's say this one on Thursday, the 6th of October, if you click on Show Ticket, it will show you like a QR code, which you need to present in the train. I'm not going to show mine. Imagine you decided, oh, I don't want to go. So you can cancel your trip day before. So let's say, on 5th of October, you can still cancel travel date. But then somehow, I don't know why it happens, but when you cancel the travel date, it still keeps the train saved in your trips. So you can maybe reactivate it again. So if you want to just completely delete them, you need to click here, and then there will be 3 dots, and you can delete it from there. So again, the most important, Planner is for planning the trip. So you need to plan from where to you go, and you need to pick the journey. Once you pick the journey, you can, again, save the journey, and then it will be saved over here in your trips. If you want to activate it, you need to toggle this, and then the journey or the ticket will be over here in your pass. Again, your pass will look like this, and everything that is activated will have a ticket here. Mind that, again, getting back to the reservation thing, when you're looking for a certain train, here, if it's empty, it means like no seat reservation required. If it says seat reservation required, it means you need to purchase a seat for this train. You need to pay extra. Usually it's somewhat between like €3 to like €40 was the maximum I paid. And let me see. My trips is again like one of the tabs where you have all your trips saved. But let's go, before we go into this inbound, outbound, let me go back to the city reservation. So there are 3 ways how to book city reservations. Not every, connection will be possible to do without the city reservation. Sometimes there are just like no trains. Sometimes there are trains which are out of your network. Sometimes it just like takes too much time. Like with the example I gave you, Barcelona to Madrid, going 9 hours. Like I personally don't want to go 9 hours when I can go in 2.5 hours. So you have 3 options how to book city reservation. Number 1 is on their website. But the problem is that personally myself, I could never do it. Honestly, I was trying, online like every day, and like it didn't work out. Let's say this one is Brussels to London, always had this error message, or like always had this kind of error message. So personally for me, I could never do it. Their website is kind of glitchy. Then you have another option. You can go and buy it in the ticket office. The problem with that is that sometimes you can buy city reservation even like 10 minutes before the train. But in other cases, like I personally had an experience where I came a day before and they were not nothing. There was nothing for the next 2 days. And also I was calling once and they didn't have anything for like a week. So let's say like today is the 1st of September and I needed a ticket for like 10th of September and there was nothing. There were no seats left. In that case, you can either upgrade to the first class, let's say if you're second class, and that's going to be extra money, or you can just purchase for a later date. So I personally think you should book in advance as much as you can because you don't want to stress out and turn up to a train station and find out that, oh, actually you can't go because there are no seats left. But again, like I had very different experiences. Like this ticket in Austria, I bought like literally 20 minutes before the train. And then for other trains, I could not buy anything like coming 3 days in advance. So be careful about it. So again, you can try to buy on their website. It never worked for me. That's option number one. Option number two, you go to the train station and you do the city reservation. You get city reservation in the ticket office. They know exactly how it works. Like, don't worry, they know what it is. And then the last option, I'll leave a link which has all methods for every country, how to book, but you can, for some countries, do city reservations by phone. However, for example, for France, I personally booked it and it was like super easy. Their support is very nice, and then you can pay with your card online. However, for example, for Spain, it's a very messed up situation. Like you can pre-book or pre-reserve the city reservation all over the phone, and it's active for 72 hours, but you need to come to the train station and pick it up, pick the physical paper. I have no idea why they're doing it, but like, you can't do everything online. You have to be like, let's say, in Spain. So for me, it doesn't work because like I have a transit train and I need to go like same day from, I don't know, France to Barcelona, from Barcelona to Madrid, let's say. I mean, it's very short of a notice, so like I don't know how to handle it, but it's not very convenient sometimes. And then Germany, I think I haven't tried it, but I think they can deliver the tickets or the city reservations to you via courier, like via DHL or something. I'll leave a description down below, which will explain how all the methods for each country, how to make city reservations. But most of them are limited to, calling and, getting a city reservation over phone, coming to the ticket office, or doing it on their website, but their website doesn't work. At least it didn't work for me. So let's talk about one last thing. So there's one important aspect when it comes to, if you're using a global pass, you are entitled to travel in your country of residence with one outbound and one inbound journey. So let's say you are, a citizen of Germany, and then what does it mean? For example, you're living in Berlin and you want to travel across Europe. So it is limited for you. You have one outbound and inbound journey. So it means like you can travel from Berlin to somewhere and from somewhere back to Berlin only once. So let's say you start from Berlin and then you go, I don't know, to London, Paris, I don't know, Madrid and like Lisbon, and then back to Berlin. So you can't have, let's say you have like 10 days, you can't travel, let's say, from Berlin to Brussels and back every day, like every day. You only have one inbound and one outbound journey, meaning like you have one day that you can use traveling from Berlin, and you have one other day where you can travel to Berlin. I hope that makes sense. And again, like the app itself, it's okay. It's not like a very, very convenient. I think it's understandable. Not everything is clear or was clear for me. But again, it has 3 tabs that you'll be using. That's planner, where you indicate, you pretty much look for the trains you want to book. And then once you want to save them, you click on save journey, and then you can see everything you saved in this tab called my trip. And then my trip looks like this over here. And again, if you want to activate it, if you want to use the day, just use this toggle. And then once it goes yellow, you can use this tab, which is called My Pass, which looks like this. And then in My Pass, you have each and every, travel. And then once the travel passed, it kind of grays out. While it's active, like it's kind of yellow, and you can click on Show Ticket. Then that's what you're showing in the train. You can cancel the travel day. So overall, I think the app is okay. I can say that, their supports, like if you call them, if you have some issue with the app, they are actually like not very responsive. Like I emailed them once and they got back to me like in 1 month with an answer, and meanwhile they just wrote, oh, probably, we are busy, so be patient. So I don't know, I personally didn't have any big issues with this app. It was okay. I was mostly struggling with seat reservations, but I would say just be aware that if you have any issues, it can be a case that you won't be able to get immediate response because they don't have like one customer support that will help you. So yeah, but overall, like people on the train stations, employees who are, like on their different like French or Spanish railways, I had very good experience. I highly recommend, like I think it's worth the money if you're using like maybe a lot of speed trains. Like personally for me, once I used like 4 speed trains, it was worth the money. So, but again, like you need to make seat reservations way in advance for those, because sometimes it's just like so booked and there's nothing left. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I wish you all the best and a pleasant trip with this pass.